Hey, Andy here from builderhottub.com. In this video, we're going to catch up with Trey in Germany and his DIY hot tub. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so for those of you that follow the blog over at builderhottub.com or indeed this channel, you'll be very familiar with Trey in Germany and his DIY hot tub build. So I've been working with Trey now for about somewhere between 4 and 6 months, I think. And he came to me because he had an old swimming or plunge pool that was in his backyard. It was actually buried. And I'll put a link to the actual case study underneath this video and you can have a full read there. But basically, he wanted to know whether he could revive this existing swimming pool and basically convert it into a hot tub. Now, what we actually did was we decided that we weren't going to try and keep any of the existing structure. It was crumbly, it was old, the chances of it actually holding water was slim to none. So we were going to keep the shape of the existing tub, but make new walls and totally renovate the area. So it was a custom design. I designed it all up for him, shipped him all the parts, and then it was over to Trey to get going. Now, before we catch up with Trey and see what the current progress is, always a great opportunity. You know I like to get this in there to say, please do subscribe to the channel, hit that notification icon to be notified when my videos go live. I do 2 long form videos just like this every single week, a whole bunch of shorts, and everything on my channel focuses on DIY hot tubs, plunge pools, parts, and pretty much everything in between. Okay, so with that out of the way, what is the current state of play with Trey? Well, he's had one hell of a week this week, and it's been a very frustrating week for Trey and his DIY hot tub build. Firstly, he had quite a substantial leak that he needed to deal with, and that was in his lower drains. So he had to kind of dig those out, reseal around the pipes, put the tile back on, grout it all back up. Very frustrating when you're basically redoing the work that you've already done. So leak fixed. It was then on to his plumbing, and he'd made a couple of mistakes on the plumbing, not following the diagrams correctly. He'll admit it himself. He was racing through to try and finish, so we needed to cut some parts out, replace some parts on the actual inward suction. So with that out the way, it was then on to filling the tub and actually turning it on. So with Trey's build, there's 2 separate systems. There's the heating and circulation, which we've got on a small circulation pump, and that's being done by an air source heat pump. So he's got a heating and filtration system, and then he's got the jet system. So the heating and filtration, that all checked out fine. The air source kicked in, the temperature began to rise in the tub itself. However, there was a problem with the jets. So as you can see behind me, things are not working as they should for Trey's DIY hot tub build. When you turn those jets on, you should have loads of power, and there's nothing there. So straight away, this screams airlock in the system, and you can overthink it. You can think, well, it couldn't possibly be that bad. This is what an airlock looks like. So the actual jet pump is turning, it's running okay. There's water at the inlet on the pump, there's water at the discharge on the pump. If you open the bleed valve on the pump, there's water there as well, but nothing's going on in the tub itself. So this is a classic example of a big, I mean, it's definitely a big airlock. So what we did, we tried the usual burping methods where you try and force it out in blasts. It didn't work. This was a big airlock. Now, because Trey's control room is a lot lower in terms of the elevation than the tub itself, this kind of a setup does lend itself to airlocks where you've got pipes on different levels. It is going to happen, unfortunately. Now, the way that we can avoid this is basically filling firstly through the lowest part on the system until you can't get any more water in, and then you can move on and fill from the tub itself. So Trey had actually filled up directly through the tub, and what happens is that water forces the air into the plumbing, and then it just gets trapped. It can't get out down at the pump can't force it out, and it just sits blocks up the system and it causes all sorts of problems, like the jet's not actually working. So what we needed to do, we needed to drop the water level down. So it's always a good idea to drop the water level underneath the jets, so there's no actual water pressure on the pushing that water into the jet and holding that air in. And what we managed to do was actually free it up, force the air out. You can hear air escaping, all that kind of thing, and the jets are then working how they should. And you can see this behind me here. So the next steps for Trey, fill that tub back up, and we can then go again and test all the systems, and hopefully this time there's going to be nothing in the way. Now, preventing airlocks, as I said, you fill from the lowest part of the system first, and then you can try and force water into the actual pipes and the pipework before it gets held in place, if you like, with the water from the tub. Sometimes if you are on a system that's particularly prone to airlocks, then you can actually run the pump sort of mid-fill. So as long as you've got enough water in the tub itself that it's going to be over the inward suction, so you're not drawing in air, that's enough to kind of blast water through, exactly the way that we've removed the air in Trey's system by dropping it underneath the jets, having the jets come out into the hot tub. We can do exactly the same when we're filling. So when Trey was filling that back up, in order not to cause another airlock, we left the pumps running so that there was constant circulation, constant movement, and that way we knew that when that tub was filled back up, there was going to be no airlocks in the system. Hopefully the next video will be Trey showing us around, saying how great it is. Watch this space. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that video. Of course, I'll get that in there one more time. I hope you found this short video update useful. If you have, hit that like, hit that notification icon, and of course, I appreciate the view, and I will see you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next video.